Cybersecurity and zero trust security in particular depend increasingly on establishing granular control over who is on your network, their role, and their privileges. For government agencies, that also means deploying more effective ways to protect users from having their passwords and credentials compromised. I'm Wyatt Cash at Scoop News Group, and here to share some of their insights on this is Robert Costello, Chief Information Officer at the Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency. Robert, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me today.
So let me start by asking, how has the White House executive order on cybersecurity to modernize and push towards zero trust, how has that reshaped your organization's IT security strategies?
Well, I think that's a great question. I think the executive order released last year gave us all at the CIO level across government a lot of clear directions on what we should be aiming for. Here at CISA, we're taking a really hard look at all of our systems as well as technologies that we're starting to roll out. So we've started our initial work to roll out some new improvements for our users to improve connectivity, as well as start locking down at that micro segmentation level access to different systems here.
And then how would you say the government's willingness to allow employees to work remotely has altered your approach to identity and multi-factor authentication?
Well, I think at the Department of Homeland Security, we were in a good place last year. We had a lot of people that could already telework, and we did have systems in place to quickly scale up. I think what we're realizing now is that we'll be like this for a long period of time. We're going to migrate to a hybrid work model in many locations. So as we take a look at identity, particularly here at CISA, we're taking hopefully a different approach to make sure that we're constantly identifying who's accessing our systems and data, and also tightly integrating identity management and credentialing systems as we roll out some of our new expanded offerings here for our user base. And that's work that'll start this year and really continue in the 23 and 24 timeline.
And then how would you say CISA is moving towards what's often called a more human-centric cybersecurity approach, for instance, by helping equip employees to deal with the growing threat of ransomware and phishing attacks and more nuanced approaches to compromises?
Sure. Well, I definitely encourage everyone to head over to stopransomware.gov, which gives a lot of great information from CISA and our partners across government on that subject matter. Here, I'm taking a harder look on doing phishing campaigns to make sure people are following the training we give them. We had a very successful Hack DHS event that is ongoing, where we're really testing through the hacker community the integrity of our systems, and that's proven extremely valuable here at CISA. I think elsewhere, we're stepping up our training for all areas. CISA deals extensively, not just in the cybersecurity area, but in many others: infrastructure security, school safety, the Office of Bombing Prevention. We want to make sure all those employees too get the same level of assurance that the systems they access are safe, and that they get the same training, that maybe their specialty is in cybersecurity, but I'm making sure that my office is ramping up efforts to educate everyone across the agency on what to look out for.
And then lastly, and maybe a little more pragmatically, what steps are being implemented to help your organization's employees create and manage their passwords more effectively?
Well, I think all of us should be looking at any system that still uses passwords. We should ask why. We certainly want people to move to multi-factor authentication, and that's something that we're very proud of. That we've rolled out quite effectively at DHS. Elsewhere, for systems that don't or can't, maybe legacy systems that still rely on passwords, we want to make sure people are securing them, that they're complex, per the system requirements, and that they're changed frequently and heavily monitored. We particularly discourage, any usage of passwords for privileged access to systems. That's something that you want to really make sure is controlled under a multi-factor system.
A lot of sense. Well, Robert Costello, thank you so much for joining us and sharing some of the practices that you're using at CISA to better protect your employees.
Thanks, Wyatt. Pleasure to be here today.